Beat making basics.
What's up, YouTube? Beat Making Basics back again with another dope video. If you're new to my channel, please do me a favor. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe because we're coming back to back with daily videos. Okay, check this out. Today's video, what I wanted to cover is what I did to mix this hip hop beat, this soulful hip hop beat using the God particle. Okay, so we're gonna go over the mixes general, and then I'm gonna go over what I did with this God particle plugin. So let's just turn the God particle plugin off first. I'm gonna let y'all listen to the beat as is without the God particle plugin, and then I'm gonna show you what it sounds like with the God particle plugin. I'm only gonna play like this basic hook part first. So you know the mix sounds okay. It's a little muddy. I honestly a lot of lows in it and everything like that. Now what the God particle plugin, what I did with that is I pretty much just followed this EQ curve right here. And how I did that is like basically wanted to make sure at least on the mids and the lows that this part was turning green, basically turning up certain things or turning down certain things. Same thing with the highs. And I adjusted some of these like the output and input so that it's not peaking as much as well. So let's just listen to it now with the God particle plugin and see the difference that it made on the mix. So as you can hear, it actually made a big difference as far as just the mix aspect of things. Everything sounds balanced compared to, you know, before when I'm, you know, as I'm using this plugin. Like I said, this EQ curve right here, I just tried to follow that. So I boosted up the mids right here just so I can start seeing the green pop in here. If you look on this again, you can see it kind of popping in there some with the kick, you know what I mean? And I made sure also that it wasn't peaking. So if I turn it up even more, you'll see that it will peak past this, and you don't want that. You want it to hit right around in that area. So it comes in with a lot of good lows. So I just left that right there. I didn't boost that at all because it was already coming in pretty hot with the lows. Highs, I mean, you know what I mean? You don't want it you don't want your beats to sound too airy or whatever. So I did boost it a little bit, but I'm not seeing it pop in this area too much. So that's cool. Now what I did also is, let's just look at the mix real quick, is on the kick drum and on the snare drum. I noticed that the kick drum and snare drum weren't actually hitting hard before. So let's just listen to it. Now it sounds decent, but when you put it with everything else, it just wasn't coming in like I wanted it to. So let's just listen to it now. So like you can still hear it, but it's not like punching through the mix. So what I did is like on the kick, I put this R bass plugin on here and I turned the frequency down to 60. All right, and that gave it a little boost as far as the lows. Let's listen to it just that. And then when I threw this smack attack plugin on there, that also helped that kick drum to punch out through the mix a whole lot better. And I pretty much just turned the attack up a little bit, and then I just turned the sustain down a little bit as well, because sustain is basically going to make your, you know, the audio file extend out some. I wanted it to be more of a choppy feel with the kick. And so that's why I turned the sustain down. Also the output, just turned it down just a little bit, and I put this clip on here. I also went over here and I just took some of the lows out of this snare, and then I went ahead and did the smack attack on that one as well. Now again, I did the opposite on this one because since the snare is not like a kick, I wanted that snare to kind of like punch and extend a little bit. So I turned that sustain to the right instead of to the left, if that makes sense. Anyway, this is how it sounds. And then I also turned this amount up to 160. Let's just see what it sounds like if I turn it down. Sounds decent, but like, you know, I had to play around a little bit with the levels. I didn't want to turn it all the way up. Listen to how it sounds all the way. Decent, but I liked it better at this like 160. And so basically I wanted to play around with this. Okay, so some other things I did here, as I was showing you or telling you earlier, is I turned down this output to negative 3.5 dB, and also turned down the input just a little bit, and that just kept it from hitting right at the zero. I wanted to give a little bit of a headroom because I'm still gonna do a little bit more to master this some. But yeah, I just turned that output down and a little bit with the input as well. And as you can also see here, I have some auxiliary tracks. I basically took the drums and I sent them over to this auxiliary track, and I just have turned the overall signal down on the drums, the melody, and then I also did this with the bass. And that also helped with peaking and making sure that the beat is not going, hitting too hard or everything's in the red and different things like that. So those are very important points I wanted to point out. And also on the melody auxiliary track, I also added this plugin called MV2. This is what it sounds like without. And then this is what it sounds like with. So overall, I just wanted to give y'all a few mixing tips on what I did to mix this beat with the God Particle plugin. As I was going to go over this again, I pretty much was following this EQ curve that they have set here. I can't move these points around. These are like set points. And I basically made sure that it was at least popping in this green area at some point. The highs, it really didn't pop in this green area, but I'm not really too concerned about it because I'm just listening to it with my ears. It doesn't really need it as much. As you can see, I did turn it up a little bit on the highs though. But I wanted to follow this EQ curve. The mids, I definitely turned it up some, and it helped it to at least pop in this green area some. And it's almost all the way up actually, you know what I mean? So that helped it out some in my personal opinion. And then this is a plugin that I think the designer used it to where you shouldn't have to do a whole lot to it. I mean, it's a real simple plugin if you look at it. You only have a couple of different knobs. You have these highs, mids, and lows. And you're just boosting these or taking stuff away with that. And then you have this curve that we're following here. You can one knob right here to add more of the God particle to the mix. You know what I mean? You can turn down stuff with this. You also have a limiter on here. So it's not a whole lot going on with that. Now, they don't have a whole lot of presets on this yet. But you know what I mean, it's pretty dope. I feel like it did help my mix by mixing with the God particle, not just putting it on afterwards to master it or whatever, but mixing with it. I feel like it did what it was supposed to do. But anyway, y'all leave in the comment section below if you like this video, if you feel like it was helpful, if maybe, you know, there's more points that I could have covered with the God particle. Let me know in the comments as well. And also make sure that you go to my site, beatmakingbasics.com, where we have courses that you can get, loop packs. We have a lot of different resources for yourself and your journey as a producer. Make sure you go there and check out the site. And also, if you don't do anything else, get subscribed to the channel, because we're coming back to back with bangers. All right. Appreciate y'all watching. I'll see you in the next video. We're out.